Rich, you mind turning off the lights up front here? Thank you very much, sir. All right. Let's see how you did. Three marks for this is pretty straightforward, right? One interior angle, so you just go find any corner and just put an eye there. So that angle right there is an interior. One exterior, you pick any side. I like to pick the one where the interior is labeled. Just travel along and then keep extending. And that is your exterior angle right there. Okay. A central angle, you just go to the center and just make your pizza slice, right? And the central angle is found right in there. 3 marks there. I will count the sides right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. It's important to know the number of sides because that's what everything is based on, right? Everything that you calculate is based on the number of sides. So the sum is, right, 13 minus 2 times 180, which is 11 times 180, which ends up being 1980. Okay, 1 mark. Calculate the measure of one interior angle. You know this one, right? It's basically the exact same thing as before, but here you have to divide it by the number of sides, okay? So I'm going to borrow that number, 1980, divide that by 13, and that's 152.31 degrees. Make sure you put the degree symbol on there or else we'll take off half a mark, okay? Just, yeah. That's a rounding error. Half a mark off. Units, I take on a page, it's units, 1 loss, half a mark, and it rounding 1 loss, like if it's different mistakes, but not more than that. Is that fair? I think that's fair. Calculate the exterior angle. Exterior angle is just 360 divided by number of sides. Or, anybody remember the other method? Right? Or, you just say, hey, exterior will be 180 minus the interior, right? You get the same answer. So if you don't know the number of sides, then you would just use this maybe, right? If I give you the interior. 1 mark. The central angle is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. And so there you have it, okay? 1 mark for that. You just need to know what you're doing, right? The number of diagonals, the formula, I'll write out the formula first for this one because it's a little trickier. Everything is on the formula sheet. You do not need to take up real estate on your study sheet. So it's 13 times 13 minus 3 divided by 2, which is 13 times 10 divided by 2, right? And this gives you 65 diagonals. So if you have the 65, you're in business. You got the mark there. The sum of exterior angles, one more time, it's always 360. It doesn't matter. You can have a 100-sided polygon, and you add up all those exterior angles, that are all around, it'd still be 360. Right, you're spreading the 360 among more, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, more than 2 is fine except for money. The only time you need to round to 2 is money, right? Actually, right, remember the rule money, if you get 19.8, you need to make sure you go 1980, right? Like it has to have that second decimal there. Roman, I don't know if you want to quickly just check. You're going to get more AC, so just get ready for that. F is 65. 360. What's that?
We're just talking about one of the questions on it.
The back side is a little trickier, right? Okay, ready? Okay, so if a polygon has a sum of 3,420 degrees, how many sides does it have? Show your work. They're giving you the sum. So, right, sum, exterior, interior. Which one are we using? Sum. So you should be using this formula. We know this part, right? So we go 3420 n minus 2 times 180. If you have this, if you have that substituted in there, today I will give you 1 mark, right? If you're starting with the equation and you have that substituted in. Yeah. And this is where it gets a little trickier. I'm going to use a red pen, so you're going to get this one back. So you make corrections all you want. I'm going to divide both sides by 180. There's other ways of doing that, but I'm going to divide both sides by 180. I want to get rid of, because that 180 is multiplying this. Sure, you can FOIL it out. Do you remember FOIL? I don't know, like distribute. But I'm just going to cancel, get rid of it. So 3420 divided by 180, that's 19. Okay? So this tells you that 19 is equal to n minus 2, right? You can lose the brackets now because there's nothing. Well, there is 1. 1 is multiplying it, but right, this isn't going to turn 0. This is 180 divided by 180 is 1, but we don't bother, right? And then the next move would be to add 2 to both sides. Okay? And therefore, n on that side is equal to 21. So if you got 21 sides, if you can show the steps, like if you just put 21 because you tried until it worked, that doesn't count. Okay, it doesn't count. You can try, but this is the point is that the province wants you to know how to manipulate a formula, right? How do you get stuff that's surrounded by numbers? How can you isolate it, right? Okay, here a pentagon has the following exterior angles. Determine the value of the last exterior angle. So keyword is exterior, right? We know that they all add up to, yeah, sum of exterior angles is 360, regardless of what polygon it is. So we're going to go 360 minus 71 minus 68 minus 73 minus 74. So we're going to subtract the 4 exterior angles, and then you're left with the last one, which is 74 degrees. Did you? 74? That's what I got. Okay. So if the 360 shows up, 1 mark. If you get the final answer there, the 74, you get another mark. Okay. Because the 360, you have to know what needs to be done here for you to get that right. If I had given you a whole bunch of interior angles, then you would have had to figure out the sum of interior angles of a pentagon, right? Which is 540. And then 540 minus, 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 then you get the, What if there had been, what if I told you there are 3 angles, careful here, I just gave you 3 angles and I said that the other 2 are equal. There's 2 left that are equal. Divide your answer in half, yeah. So you would, right, you would have these 3, for example, and then just that remainder divided by 2. Does that make sense? Right? I give you 3, the other 2 are equal. Take the 3 away from 360, split it in half. Okay. In fact, these are, right? You have 2 angles that are equal in this pentagon. I consider the following regular polygon below. Calculate the following. The value of angle C. So C is right there. You should recognize that that's a central angle. Okay. So central angle is 360 divided by, I don't know, So you need to count. Check mark, right? That's the one you start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 15. Okay, well, I know, right? My key says 15, but I want to make sure you know. Right? 360 divided by 15, that's 24 degrees. So we know this is 24 now. Okay. Why am I doing that? Because if this is 50, we know this is 50, right? So this is an SAS scenario. So to find this stretch here, we use cosine law, which is 50 squared plus 50 squared minus 2 times 50 times 50 times cosine of 24. You get 432.2727, and that keeps going. And that is 20.79 feet. Because that's all it's asking for. So we stop it at 2 decimals there. 2 marks if you got this right. Half a mark deduction. You go like this. You go check, but right next to it you go units, and then later I take that. Usually take it off at the end. Okay, determine the perimeter. This one should be pretty self-explanatory, but you've got 15 of these along this shape. So you got to go 15 sides times, in this case it's 20.79. You can use the rounded answer because this is a different question, and that is 311.85 feet. You used 4 decimals? I'm okay with that. It's better, right? It's a more accurate. But technically you don't need to when I break it down into ABC. Okay. Consider the following diagram, right? Calculate the measure of angle M and N. Watch for 3-letter notation. Let's do that right now. If I wanted to refer to this angle using 3-letter notation, how would I do that? A, B, D, or D, B, A, right? Let's write that down. This is angle ABD, right? And angle N here would be DBC or CBD. And remember, yeah, the middle letter is where the angle is going to be located, right? That's kind of where you're focusing on. So angle M, this is a 90, right? So 45 minus, it's basically 90 minus 45, right? Which is 45 degrees. You use the sum of triangles equal to 180. Angle N, this is also a 90 here, right? So it's 90 minus 46, which is 44 degrees. So 1 mark for each. That should be a pretty easy mark there to get. And now classifying. Remember first name, last name? I can guarantee you there will be 2 or 3 or maybe more questions where you have to classify. Okay. So ABD, that's triangle, not angle. Right? Triangle ABD. So this one right here, that would definitely be a right. Right? Right? And then next would be, it's isosceles because it's got 2 angles that are the same. So isosceles. So one half a mark for each. And then ABC is the big one. Okay. We know that that one is, I'm not sure yet. So I need to do a little bit of thinking here. This is 46, correct? So what if I added up both of them? 45 is 90 plus 1, 91. Oh, sorry. What's wrong here, right? This is 44, that's 44, right? My bad. So now it's 89. Okay, almost a right triangle, but not quite. So you got to go with what the numbers tell you, right? So this is an acute, right? Scalene, because all angles are different when you're looking at that big triangle. I don't know, Amazon. They told me this wouldn't break, this lead, and I'm breaking it more than ever before. Return, right? BDC, this one here, it's right. Scalene, yeah, because 44 is scalene as well. I get pretty creative with these, so watch out. Yeah, you get half for the acute. Especially if I give you the numbers of the angles, you go with the exact number, okay? Like let's say you calculate and you get like a 44.999, then you round to 45, right? But if I give you the numbers, you go by it, okay? Sketch a kite and label 3 properties using markings, appropriate markings. So a kite, it looks like a diamond, but it's not a diamond. Make sure you don't use that, okay? You're gonna make me angry, you're gonna lose more marks. I'm just kidding. That's not gonna happen. Don't do it. Okay, so the sides is one property. You labeling that the short diagonal is cut in half is another property. This is another property. And this is another property. But it's wrong. Right? They're not parallel. Okay, so don't do that. I've seen that. So sometimes you freeze on a test. I get it. Like that happens, but make sure you're careful. Yeah. Yes. So this angle and this angle is, yeah, that counts. But now you're overdoing it, so don't overdo it. Just 3. Okay. But yes, it's correct. If you did that, all good. So let's add up our marks here. So the back side is 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, 16. The back side is worth 16 marks. You can double check, but we've got 3 and 3, that's 6, plus 2 is 8. And we've got a 9, 10, 12, 14, 16. Sorry, this one? Yeah, you have to show the work. If you just said N is 21, no marks. No, because I know you can check until it works, right? And then the front page is worth 9. Yeah, 9. 9 and 16, that's 25. So name and last name, put your mark out of 25. Before I give you the next AC, there's one thing that I need, yeah, pass it forward, okay? There's one more thing I need to make sure you understand. So pass it forward, I want to pick them up. I want to give them back to you today. So pass them forward, I will record it while you're doing the next one. There's one more that I need to make sure you know how to do. I think I talked about it, but where are you? I just need to find it. Yeah, here. I'm thinking what's best to do here. Put it in your notes or get you to go to the workbook. The back of your notes is blank. I want that for maybe just pay attention. I think you're going to get this one. Like if you were to get something like this, and I say, hey, classify this one, would you be able to do it? This is in the workbook. We know that these two are supplementary, right? They add up to 180. So this would be what? 180 minus 138, 42, right? So now you know that this is 42. You're done with that. Then you go over to this side. It's also 42, right? So you know for sure your isosceles territory now. But you still need to figure this one out. These three, so now you're inside, you get it, right? Now you're inside the triangle. To get this, you go 180 minus 2 times 42 essentially. 2 times 42 is 84. Yeah, so that leaves you with 96, right? Like if you subtract these two from 180, you get 96. So if I now ask you, hey, classify this one of twos, yeah, you're gonna get another one. Yeah, shorter one. Yeah. You know what I'm doing right now? You're going to the gym, right? And you're working out that muscle, right? You're just like, I want to make sure that, right? You're pumping, you're getting your brain to keep working. So you want to be ready for tomorrow. Okay. You know what? I'll just tell you plain and simple.